What's good, YouTube? This your boy Apollo D. Um, Today I'm going to talk to you guys about just my ideas about 2K15 and what I would like to see and what I think should be put in the game. I know my channel is very, very small. I don't have the audience to where I can really express my thoughts, but I just feel like I got good ideas, and hopefully one of the bigger YouTubers or even a developer himself will see this video and take some of these things into consideration. I'm dividing my lecture, or whatever you want to call it, into 3 different parts. One is gameplay, one is the parks, and the third is uniqueness, which means individuality and the whole creating a my player for yourself idea. So my first part is just talking about the parks. When they first announced the idea of the park, I thought it was cool. They said there's a park that has up to like 7 courts, up to 100 people can be inside of the park. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty cool. But when it came out, it was buggy as hell, and I understand that the game first came out, whatever, and I'm not gonna hold that against them. Shit happens. That was happening with every game that came out. But once I played, because I play the park just about every day. I play that more than I play anything else on 2K, and I personally feel like that's the case for most of the people that play 2K, is that they play the park more than anything else. And I just feel like I'm not a fan of it. I'm personally not a fan of it. Just the simple fact that I have to wait to play a game, and that's just ridiculous. Like, there's times when I've run from park to park. I go through like 5 parks. And the whole time I spend doing this whole process, I could have played a game and been done with a game. But I'll sit through this whole process of jumping from park to park to find a game. Not just to stand on the green spot and get into a game, but sometimes I jump from park to park to even find a game to wait on. And I'm not a fan of that. There's times when I go to a park and every single court is filled, and I have to stand behind somebody that's waiting on a green spot or on a gray spot, whatever you want to call it, just so I can have, it looks like it was starting a line, and I'm not a fan of that. That's just retarded. To person, I'm not a fan of it. I like the whole idea of last gen, which was, you just search for a game and it puts you in the game on a blacktop. That I wish it was back to that. But I understand it's next gen. They want to make it, a whole new experience. I can understand that. But personally, I just wish it was just a simple way you just drop in and drop out, like a first person shooter or whatever. So what I think should happen is just, personally, I feel like you should be able to pick the parks you want to be in. And second of all, don't let it be up to 100 people inside of a park. That makes no sense, because you'll have up to about 30 people that just run around a court with nothing to do, because everything is filled. And you can't interact with other people that's running around a court. Now, if you can interact with other people that's running around a court, then that's kind of cool. That would be something that you can do while you wait for a game. You know what I mean? But you can't do that. You just run around a court, waiting for a game to be over, or, for a spot to open. And it just makes no sense. So 100 people is just retarded. I feel like the player count should be reduced to 60 or 50, because 100, it just makes no damn sense. I've been in a park where it was 98, it's probably 100 people at one point in time. I think it was one time it was actually 101 people when I was joining inside the park. That's just ridiculous. It's crowded, and it makes no sense. So what I think, what I would want is, I wish it was back to the old way, but just make it so that you play on Rucker Park. And I'm not talking about the cheap Rucker Park like that was in 2K13. I'm talking about an actual Rucker Park where it's actually the Rucker Park, and you have a bunch of people. If you're not going to put it in an arena, just make a blacktop that's like an arena, kind of like what Rucker Park does, where they have a bunch of people on the sidelines. The atmosphere would be just like an actual arena. You feel what I'm saying? And you still have park rules. Bring the commentator back, or whatever you want to call them, the DJ, whatever you want to call them. And, just bring that whole aspect back. And if you're going to make it like that, I would like to see different types of black tops. And I feel like 60 overall should be at one black top. 70 overall should be at another black top. 80 overall should be at another black top. And then once you hit to that 90 overall, make it so that you only play on a record park with other 90 overalls. And you can even go back and say just make 60s and 70 overalls play together. The 80 overalls play, with each other, and then 90 overalls play with each other. That would be cool. That'd be a good idea. And that's just something that I would want to see. Just make a black top that has the atmosphere of an actual arena, and glorify that. Because the whole park idea, I'm just not a fan of. It's just ridiculous. I come home from work, I want to play a couple of games. Sometimes I can't do that. Come home from school, I want to play a couple of games. I can't do that, and I'm just not a fan of that. It's ridiculous. It's retarded. I shouldn't have to wait to play my game online. So that's my idea on the park, aka Blacktop, and I feel like they should bring crew back. I heard people say that the reason why they haven't brought it back is because more people play my team and blah 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 blah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think crew was in 2K when my team was started, so you can't really say that. And I feel like the only reason you can really say that is because 2K is the only basketball game that's been out for I don't know how long. I feel like once they put my team in, NBA Live was just done for. So you can even say that more people have been playing 2K than they've been playing NBA Live. I mean, that's not a valid excuse. I just feel like there's a reason why they're not putting crew back in. I feel like they're saving it for a last resort if this is far-fetched. But if NBA Live just comes out with something amazing, they're like, okay, we brought crew back, and then it's going to bring their old fans back. That's what I feel like. But that's my idea on the park. I feel like it should be a different types of black tops, and just glorify that. Put a big, audience and the commentator back. It would be nice that if I cross somebody, the commentator's like, "Ooh," and he broke his ankles, and then it'd just be cool to hear that. Just like it was in 2K13 where it was like dunks and it'd just be cool to see that. So that's my idea on park, aka multiplayer, blacktop, whatever. So next thing I want to talk about is gameplay. The gameplay, I like it. There's a few things that get on my nerves, like the animations are too ridiculous. They last too long. You can't pass out of them and stuff like that. And it's just, it's too many animations at times that it just gets on my nerves. It just gets on my nerves, and some of the animations need to be able to be interrupted, if that makes sense. Because there's sometimes when I'm trying to pass the ball, but I'm too busy trying to gain control of the ball, which I understand makes it realistic, but these are animations. You should be able to interrupt the animation and pass out of these, certain, animations, because it's just ridiculous half of the time. And sometimes I'll pass 2 seconds later to the guy that I wanted to pass 2 seconds earlier, and it gets tipped off. You know what I mean? And that gets annoying. Get rid of pre-blocks. For you guys that don't know what a pre-block is, it's basically when you're going up for a layup or a dunk or even a jump shot, and the guy bumps into you or he jumps before you jump, and he just knocks the ball out of your hand before you even get off the ground. That needs to be removed. Make it so that you can block the shot when it's like above their head, or when they're going for a dunk. Let it be able to be, make an animation for it. It'll be blocked at the rim if they're going for a dunk. You know what I mean? Kind of like what Roy Hibbert did to Carmelo Anthony last season in the playoffs, and what LeBron did to Thiago Splitter in the finals. Make an animation for that, and reduce the probabilities of people getting dunked on. I feel like, I understand that Dominique Wilkins can dunk on Dwight Howard. I'll accept that, but there needs to be a certain, counter. I don't know what you would call it. Counter move to combat that. Like if it's a center, if he pushes triangle at the right time, let him rise up and block the shot. Like I just said, like with Carmelo, like what Roy Hibbert did to Carmelo in the last year's playoff, something like that. And let it only be if the center has lockdown defender and eraser or something like that, or a high enough block. Because that's just something ridiculous. I don't feel like 6-foot point guards should be able to dunk on a 7-foot center. I don't believe that. And also make it so that these centers cannot shoot threes. There's a very few. If they can shoot threes, make them garbage at everything else. Don't let them be able to shoot threes and be able to dunk on somebody and be able to dribble the ball real well and be able to block everybody in the rim. No, every center that I know of in the league that can shoot threes real well, they suck at rebound, they suck at defending the rim, they suck at just about everything else. Okay, that needs to be fixed. Literally, that needs to be fixed. So gameplay, that's really all I could think of. Add more animation, by animation I mean dunks, crossovers, jump shot, stuff that I'm pretty sure they'll add anyways without me saying. Also make it so that in my career you can change your jerseys and stuff like that. And when you go to play somebody, like play a team or whatever, make it so you can pick the jerseys you actually wear. Because I'm playing for I played for 5 different teams, and when I was on the Warriors, I always wanted to wear like the shirt uniforms, and I was never able to. Or if it's like Christmas time and you're playing the game, let it so that you're wearing a Christmas uniform, something like that. That'll be cool. And so that's that. So that pretty much sums up my gameplay. In the future, I will do another video once they release more information. I'll make another video talking about my my response to different announcements or whatever. And add more legends. I know it's kind of off topic, but add more legends. I would love to see Reggie Miller, Steve Smith, Steve Francis, Yao Ming, different types of Tracy McGrady's, like the Rockets one, the Raptors one, the Rockets, the Raptors, the Magic. I want to see these different Tracy McGrady's, and because it'll be cool to say, you playing my team, because everybody has the same team in my team. This is ridiculous. I hate that, but everybody has like pretty much the same team in my team. Like everybody has the same players, and it'll just be cool to these little kids that play in my team. They see somebody that has Steve Francis. It's like, who's Steve Francis? And they see that this dude is crossing everybody up. And they're like, oh my God, Steve Francis, who is this guy? They go on YouTube, look at a video. And like, oh my God. Or Reggie Miller, they see this dude popping off threes everywhere. And they're like, oh my God, who's Reggie Miller? And they look him up. Or, Yao Ming, why is this guy so tall? Excuse me. Why is this guy so tall and blocking everything? And then they look him, just stuff like that. It'll be cool. It'll educate kids about the game of basketball. Also, like guys like Gilbert Arenas. Just add more people, and I'm pretty sure you're able to add people as time goes on. Make so that you don't really announce who's. Just say you have new legends, and then as the game is out, make like DLC or something, which is basically new players, new teams, and you put them in the game. And they add them in packs later on. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure they're able to do that. I'm pretty sure they're able to add players inside of the game later on. Because they did it in 2K13 when they added Tracy McGrady when he got signed to the Spurs. And they added Dr. J in 2K14 when the game was already out. I'm pretty sure they're able to do that. And it's just, I'm just tired of seeing the same players on every team. It's just, if I'm playing the game and I see somebody that has somebody I never heard of, but he's really, really good, it'll be just cool to see. But I know it's going to take a lot of work, and, everybody doesn't like doing a lot of work. But yeah, back to my list. I want to talk about uniqueness. This is just the whole idea of creating a my player. Now, this goes for any game. Any game I feel like every game that has a multiplayer should have a ability to customize your own player. And I feel like that's kind of what separates 2K from a lot of other sports games, because Madden has a create a superstar mode, but the multiplayer in that is kind of iffy. It's not, as 2K, you create a player, you go against random people, and that's cool. That's amazing. That's a great idea. But I just feel like everybody's my player is pretty much the same. They just look a little different. Everybody can do the same thing, and I feel like if you make an athletic point guard, make them really good at layups and dunks, and layups, dunks, and rebounding and stuff like that. But don't make him that good at just make his IQ a little bit lower, because there's a lot of players, or cap their IQ, like offensive, defensive awareness. Because if you look at players in the league, a lot of the athletic point guards, they're really good scorers also. But their IQ, some of them, now don't get me wrong, there's some of them that is just good at all around, but there's some of them their IQ is not, I'm not calling them stupid, but their basketball IQ is just not, way up there. And if you make like a 3-point specialist point guard, make him really good at shooting threes and blah, 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 but he's not that good at dunking and laying up on people. You know what I mean? Like Steph Curry, I would call him a 3-point specialist, but he doesn't dunk on people. You feel what I'm saying? If you make a defensive type point guard, make him so that his defensive stats are really good, but his scoring stats are not that good. Or if it's a pass first, vice, you get what I'm saying. And if they still bring back Jackson Ellis, if you pick a scoring type point guard, make your rival a defensive type. If you make an athletic type, make your rival a pass first type. If you make a scoring type, make your rival a defensive type. Just don't make them the exact same person, because you're just having a one-on-one battle. And but then again, I don't know. These are just things that I feel like should be put in the game. But I just feel like there should be more uniqueness. Make every my player different. Just because it's just ridiculous. And I personally do. I'm not a fan of VC. Buying up your player stats. I know some people are in a position where they can't play the game that much, and they can't just boost their player up. But just let it be a cap on how much bought VC you can put on your my player. You know what I mean? Like, make it skill points, but if you're going to use VC, make it cost a lot more, or let it be like a limit to where you can only spend like 10,000 VC on your my players points. Like, I understand, I use my VC. I bought VC so I could buy signature skills, but let it be a cap to where you only use 10,000, 5,000, whatever VC on your player stats. Because I'm not against people that buy VC. It's just because it's not a rare thing to see somebody at 90 overall. You feel what I'm saying? It'll be cool to see somebody at 90 overall, and they're like, damn, that dude must be good because he's a 90 overall. You know what I mean? And it'll just make more sense. And the whole idea of personality badges is cool, but I would like to see, you can pick personality badges, but you actually pick a personality, like you pick a cocky personality, which is somebody like J.R. Smith. I don't know if you would call Jordan. I don't know if you would call Jordan cocky. But just people that if you shoot a three, the dude's like pound, he just shrugging his shoulders like, I don't know how I did that, or he say it too easy, or something like that. Make a passionate player, which is basically a dude that when he knocks down a clutch three, he just gets hype. I understand there's a personality badge called unpredictable, but I mean, yeah, I don't know too many people that use that. But it'd just be cool to see him just pound his chest like yeah, getting hype. Or another personality badge like energy guy, hype guy, whatever, like Nate Robinson and people like that. Hustler, which is like Jakeem Noah, and I guess you could say Thomas Robinson, people like that. Just different personality stuff. Pick a personality that really shows how your player really is, because I feel like people really love the idea of making a my player that's fit to their actual person, like to their actual self. And there's some people that just make a my player just to make a my player that there's nothing like themselves, but that's just something cool that I would like to see. And that's pretty much all I have right now. That's pretty much all I have right now. But yeah, to sum it up, I'm not a big fan of the park. I just feel like the whole Got Next system is ridiculous. This is the only multiplayer game I've ever played to where I have to actually wait for a game. Gameplay, get rid of pre-blocks, and the ball is at times it's flimsy, but at times it really it makes sense because a guy would dribble just too much and he gets the ball like poked out of his possession or something. But there's times when it's like, okay, how the hell did that get knocked out of my hands? Oh, and another thing about the gameplay, there's times when I go for a dunk and the ball it clearly goes in the rim or in the basket and it's just not counted. Like it just goes out of bounds and it's the other team's ball. That needs to be fixed. There's no reason why that should happen. That shit pisses me off. Because there's been times where I even had clutch games and I got the steal in a breakaway and I dunked it and it didn't count and we lost the game. That is ridiculous. They need to fix that. I've looked at replays of it and I've paused it to see if there was like a glitch, like the ball went through the rim and then it go inside the basket. It went through the rim, like it went through, like the middle piece went through the ball. You know, like it went through the rim or something like that. No, it clearly went through the basket. It just didn't count. So they need to fix that. But yeah, that's just something. I know my channel is not big enough, but I hope this gets to somebody and it just sparks some ideas to that person. And, you know, a person with a bigger channel will just, you know, express my ideas on it. So, yeah, man, this is Apollo D. This is my thoughts. And, you know, in the future, when there's more information released, you know, I'll share more thoughts. And as time goes by, I might think of other ideas. So, yeah, man, I'll holler at you guys later. Like the video if you like the video. And, yeah, man, holler at you guys later. All right, peace.